folks, so the last thing we're going to talk about on our products training videos are a very valuable resource that we have that there's not a lot of organizations that have. And let me explain what I mean. There's a lot of organizations that have closers and do sales and do events, right? And then there's a lot of agencies that have data and analytics and AdWords and strategies like that. But there are very few in the marketplace that have both, right? The ability not only to generate mad traffic and convert leads and communicate with customers and book appointments, but also the very rare and unique combination of having experienced industry veterans that can come in, show up, show out, and show them how to get paid, right? So this is our events and training section of our business model. So we have two types of events, right? We have what we call a hosted event, okay? So a hosted event, this is AKA staffed events as they've been formerly known, but we've struck those words from our vocabulary because there's so much negative connotation with them. So we're not in the staffed event business, right? And it's important that you understand that, and it's important that you tell your customers that, okay? Because staffed events, let's just face it, when dealers hear that, they think gypsies, pirates, scoundrels, criminals, all this drama. That's just not who we are. It's not who I am. And as a matter of fact, I absolutely have zero tolerance for that bullshit. I won't stand for it. And I have zero tolerance for clients that are that way. So what we have is we're in the process of flipping the script on the whole event model, right? We have hosted events. So a hosted event's real simple. It's 1 or 2 managers, okay? And it's 3 to 6 salesmen. Never more than 2 managers, no exceptions. Never more than 6 salespeople, no exceptions. Why? Because, man, these deals are hard to manage, right? And again, to sell is to make a promise, right? And then to retain is to fulfill that promise. So we have hosted events. They range anywhere from $300 to $500 per car sold during the event. And in some instances, there'll be some percentage of the gross profit. And we like to stick with 1 manager hosted events. Sometimes we'll make an exception. We'll do 2 manager hosted events based on the client's needs. And then sometimes, again, we'll bring some supplemental sales staff, the right type of people that can help manage that traffic. So the campaigns that work very well with these events, these hosted events, are saturation mail, targeted mail, and Facebook Messenger events. Why? Because all 3 of those products are short-term. They're designed to drive a result in a vacuum of time, and they're a combination of high and low quality opportunities. So when we bolt that with the people that can come in there and convert those customers to gross, and if they're like-minded people asking the right questions within the dealership, right? Because success is simple as finding the right clients and keeping them. Then what we can do is we can leverage these events, right, to relationships for life, because these guys get a glimpse into who we are, how we operate, what's important to us, right? They see that we're not just like all these other guys. They don't just hear it, right? They see it, they feel it, right? So hosted events, 1 to 2 managers, 3 to 6 salespeople, never any more than that. 300 to 500 a car, depending on the volume of the store, is how we bill every car sold. And then sometimes we'll do a percentage of the gross profit, although we try to avoid that because when it comes time to paying sales representatives and paying team leaders and things of that nature, sometimes a 15-pounder, guys, let's just face it, it's just not a good idea, right? And we should never put money as a precedent over our core values, which is doing the right things, right? So we try to avoid the percentage of gross for that reason. The other type of events we have is 1 manager events. These are my personal favorite. The reason they're my personal favorite is because you don't have a bunch of uncontrollable circumstances with trying to get all these egos to mesh and all these people there and all these people the right attitude and dressing right and acting right, behaving right. So we send in a highly trained veteran in the car business. One of them will do a targeted, most of the time we'll do a targeted or a small SAT campaign, saturation mail campaign. So we don't just bombard everybody with traffic, but some magic happens with these 1 manager events because, again, it's an opportunity to get to know the stores, get to know their deficiencies, their problems on a more intimate level, and then gives them an opportunity to get to know who we are, how we work, and then by the time the event's over, it's re-sign city, it's customer for life city, because we brought real measurable value in a very short period of time. So hosted events, they're 3 to 5 days in length. We try not to do anything longer than that. It's 1 manager. Sometimes we'll do it as low as $5,000, right? Just to get our foot in the door, right? $5,000 is not a lot of money. It's, you know, the guy that's going to go run the sales not going to get rich. The company's not going to get rich, but we can turn that one single $5,000 investment into $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year in gross profits for the company if we play our cards right. But a lot of times these hosted events will be so as low as $5,000, but then we'll hit them with a per car, and sometimes those checks are 10, 15, 20 grand just for one manager, which can be a real win-win for everybody. The turn time on this is 3 weeks. There's a lot of scheduling involved. And hosted events can only be done, listen to me, once a quarter, max. That's it. That's not a primary focus. What it is it's a primary tool that we can use strategically to grow our referrals, to grow our recurring revenue, and to grow our relationships with our clients. So those are hosted and one manager events in a nutshell.